Stupid British people. If you only want a short answer, that's it. If you want the real one, British colonists being bad at naming. But you can see the reason why the British screwed up. At first glance, the Rangipo Desert does look exactly how you'd expect a desert to look. A wide, open plateau of sand and gravel, stretching out in all directions, windswept ridges, rolling dunes, jagged outcrops of rock, the kind of place you'd expect to find tumbleweeds, if tumbleweeds existed in New Zealand. It looks barren. It feels barren. There's barely any vegetation, just a few hardy grasses and shrubs. And the ground, this weird alien looking blackish sand, stretches on for miles. But here's the twist. This desert gets almost 100 inches of rainfall every single year. That's more rain than London, more than Auckland. In fact, it's almost enough to classify as a rainforest. So how does that make sense? Why does a place that looks like a desert get so much rain? Well, that's because the Rangipo Desert isn't a desert at all. It's just stupid Brits being bad at naming. It's something completely different. A volcanic dune. Basically, an ecosystem formed by layers upon layers of volcanic ash, pumice, and scoria that have been dubbed here over thousands of years. This desert look isn't from a lack of rain, it's from a lack of life, because nothing can really grow here. And to understand why, we need to zoom out to one of the most geologically active regions in the world, the Tongariro Volcanic Centre. This area sits in the middle of New Zealand's North Island and includes four main volcanoes: Tongariro, the one crossed by New Zealand's famous Alpine crossing; Mount Doom from Lord of the Rings, also known as Ngātahoe; Taupo, a supervolcano on par with Yellowstone; and most importantly for the desert, Mount Ruapehu, the tallest mountain on the North Island and the reason behind the Rangipo Desert. Ruapehu is no small fry. It's nearly 10,000 feet tall and erupts frequently. Major eruptions happen roughly once every 50 years, each one blasting out millions of tons of volcanic ash, enough to blanket hundreds of square miles in a suffocating layer of ash and rock. Now, volcanic ash may sound like something terrible, and short term, it absolutely is. The soil it creates is full of toxic minerals that can kill most plants, and does. But in the long run, volcanic soils become some of the most fertile in the world, with the most fertile region in the world being ex-volcanic terrain. You just have to wait about 500 years. The problem for the Rangipo is that it never gets the chance. Every few decades, Ruapehu throws up another eruption and buries the area in fresh ash, restarting the clock. It's like trying to bake a cake, but someone keeps opening the oven door halfway through. The process never finishes. Over time, these repeated eruptions build up thick layers of ash, pumice, and scoria. Combined with strong winds and dry at a high altitude, those layers are eroded and ground down into a sand, which the wind blows into dune fields. And that's why the Rangipo Desert looks like it does today. All that ash has turned into a loose, shifting sand-like substance that plants just can't handle. The ground drains too fast, it's too nutrient poor, and every gust of wind and frost kills off whatever tries growing. Now you may ask, why royalty-free tuna? Why does this desert only form on its eastern slope? What a great question to smoothly change ideas. Thanks. It comes down to geography and wind. Ruapehu sits almost exactly on the 38th southern parallel, right inside a powerful weather system known as the Roaring Forties. These are strong westerly winds that circle the entire southern hemisphere, blowing from west to east across the oceans. In New Zealand, these winds hit the central plateau and blake straight across Ruapehu's summit, carrying ash, pumice, and fine debris eastwards as it falls during eruption. This means the eastern side of Ruapehu, where the Rangipo lies, gets absolutely dubbed on every time there's an eruption, over and over again, for millennia. So while the rest of the mountain slowly regenerates, with plants reclaiming the land between eruptions, the Rangipo never gets a break. Every time it starts to recover, another wave of ash wipes it clean again. The result? A permanently stunted, windswept wasteland that gets as much rain as rainforest, but grows like the moon. And if you look closely, the desert isn't even sand in the traditional sense. It's volcanic glass. Tiny, razor-sharp fragments of pumice and scoria that crunch and can cut your foot. When the wind picks up, it blows across the plateau like a sandstorm of toxic dust. The mouldy name Rangipo even carries a sense of that. It roughly translates to dark, gloomy skies, or the desert wind. Of course, when the British showed up, they took one look at it and went, desert. Then asked the locals what it was called, tacked desert on the end, and called it a day. Classic. But in fairness, you can see why they thought that. From a distance, it really does look like a desert. yellow black slopes, no forest cover, open plains with rippling dune formations. It's only when you check the rainfall that you realize something's off. And it's not just the ash. The combination of high elevation, constant wind, and extreme hot cold also help strip the land bare. Winter temperatures here regularly drop below freezing, and snow can blanket the ground for weeks at a time. It's a harsh alpine climate, one that limits significant vegetation from even trying to grow. There are some military training grounds here, because the environment is so barren and unpredictable that it's perfect for rugged exercises. It's the kind of landscape that looks more like Mars than New Zealand. So to sum it all up, the Rangipo Desert isn't only a desert in appearance. It's actually a high altitude volcanic plateau, constantly recycled by Ruapehu's eruptions and scored by the Roaring Forties. The result is a paradox, one of the wettest deserts in the world. So the next time someone tells you New Zealand has a desert, you can say, well, kind of, but actually no. Or just stick with the short version. Stupid British people.